Okay. I have to ask you straight up, what is this event? Because when you first because when you first told me about it, I thought, parents, a meal, subject matter experts. I need you to break this down for me.
Okay. Yeah. The reason I thought the parents are the perfect fit because they're the core of a community,
Mm.
and that's what me and you talk about all the time is core of the community, how to help them understand and get some clarity on what's happening in the space, to protect their children, to help their career, and to help the elderlies that they have in their life. So, me and you always talked about like, how do we help certain communities from scam,
Mhm.
right? How do we help the children from those behaviors that we don't want, the negative behaviors online?
Mhm.
How do you do that? Like, you can have a passive way of learning. Like you go to YouTube, or you can tell somebody to go to YouTube and they'll passively learn, or we can actually implement something very quickly within next day, next
Mhm.
2 days, or next 30 days, where we have an action item that is personalized and curated for each person, right? So between me and you, you've seen that already. We
Yeah.
talk about something we can implement it the next day right away, because
Facts.
we've been talking about these things in person rather than saying, oh, let's just put out a YouTube video and tell people what they should do and how they should do it. So instead of passive learning, which we have done in the digital world for the last 10, 15 years,
Mhm.
now it's time to do the opposite. Do it the way we used to do it.
Yeah.
Over a meal, in person, actionable things, not just passive learning.
Yeah, I love that. So this isn't a lecture.
Yeah.
It's more like a dinner party where you happen to learn something that could change your financial future.
Yeah, yeah. Parents don't have dinner party, right? Parents does not want to do dinner party. So of course you suggested that, hey, look, we have to do lunch or
Mhm.
breakfast. Breakfast is almost impossible because kids got to go to school. But lunchtime is good because most of the parents can say, I can break away to actually learn something that I can do by next day or next 30 days or however many years that this AI hype will live through,
Mhm.
right? This AI danger world that we live in. We have to really get somebody to come to the lunch and
Mhm.
not overcrowd the conversation,
Mhm.
right? So not a lot of parents will come out, so we have to really minimize the interaction to say few people that really wants to be there, because it's about their career, it's about their children, it's about their community, it's about their elderlies, right? You know me, I work in the Alzheimer dementia space
Mhm.
most of the time because you don't see me other than in AI space. You see me in AI space, but outside of AI space, I work with a lot of Alzheimer dementia situations. So yeah, it's gonna be a lunch party.
Okay, so let's get into the facts,
Yeah.
okay? Because I know people are watching this and they've got questions. So, first one, who is this event actually for?
Uh, if you're a parent and you're in a corporate space, I think it will double benefit you because things that you want to do for your children or for your elderly parents, it's the same thing you want to do for your colleagues and your for coworkers, right?
Mm.
So a lot of the conversations about AI is AI implementation. Well, for our children, for our grandparents, the elderlies, it's not about implementation, it's about securing it,
Mm.
right? So if you're a corporate leader, you're thinking about security all day long. So how do I help you to adopt artificial intelligence? No longer implementation. That's a key difference. It's
Mm.
adoption of artificial intelligence and adopt it in a secured manner. So who are we really targeting? We're targeting somebody that can do multiple things just by doing one thing,
Mm.
right? And they're very busy, of course. Like I said, breakfast and dinner is out of question. So let's do a lunch
Mm.
because they're that busy. So corporate leaders, they're also parents,
Yeah.
right? You are a parent, I'm a parent. So parents are literally talking to a parent with their guards down,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That wall that comes down when we're sharing a meal. So anybody that's looking to say like, I don't need to just learn. I actually have to do things now, right?
I love that. Seat at the table, like literally. Okay, next question. And I get this one a lot. Why a meal? Why not just a seminar or a webinar?
Yeah, yeah. I think me and you have been really intentional about this. Is that there's a classroom and there's a boardroom as well.
Mhm.
So in the classroom, you have 30 people. They all come in. They kind of sit there and listen to it like a TED talk. That's fine. I think we've done that for a very long time. I think the last 3 years there's been a lot of classroom environment. But for the boardroom conversation, one of the things that we have seen is that if you're in a boardroom, you kind of come in to not really discuss, but just to rather listen to reconfirm and validate what it is that you learned in the classroom. So in my experience with the boardroom conversation is that the boardroom really speaks up, right? The hot seat turns on when you have a whiteboard in front of you. It's not a whiteboard. So this whiteboard conversation really takes it to a whole nother level of not just knowing now, you're doing. And if you're doing, you have to grow. If you're growing, you have to optimize. If you optimize, what sort of risk are you taking? So this conversation really explodes. Up top, you don't see it, but build versus buy in a business use case is what we were discussing before this video. And the conversation went so many different directions, as you can tell, right? But that's how we don't just learn, we actually bring our subject matter expertise and start growing with it, right? Do things that actually matter. So yeah, I think that's a short answer.
As there's just something about breaking bread together. That's just, it opens people up.
Yeah. You're eating, you're watching the whiteboard, and you're throwing your ideas in because you're not hungry or you're not stuffed, but you're eating the meal. So the energy is always there when you have a meal present.
Yeah. Okay. So, who are these subject matter experts, and what's the caliber of person we're talking about here?
So when we started about back in 2019, we were actually helping the database engineers to talk to their leadership about their database and AI in their database, which is a very narrow conversation in a narrow populations in that corporate world. So we have to expand it over time. So we started talking to the decision scientist and the data scientists. The data scientists will say, I have these great ideas, but I cannot really get the buy-in. So I will come in and I will be the mediator to help them communicate the technical jargons and the business jargon and bring them together for a data scientist. And that has evolved over time to other subject matter expertise, exclusively for the sales team, the sales executive who are selling AI products. Now they have to be able to say, the customers are not even here, but how do I tell the customers about what AI they need? So now this is not something that, we just thought about out of middle because we're on a whiteboard. No, we've been doing this actually for a very long time, but now the subject matter expertise is no longer just subject matter experts in finance, subject matter experts in HR. Because as parents, we can go in many different directions because it just comes down to data. If you have data, we are the data subject matter experts. You bring your subject matter expertise, we'll bring the data to your subject matter expertise over a meal.
So when I'm sitting at the table, the person across from me actually has done this thing that they're talking about.
Yeah. This is look, I think I've been to many places in many corporate environment, but specifically in the military environment. Me and you both are from a military environment. You're a military intelligence. I was a force protection guy, anti-terrorism guy. It really breaks the barriers down, right? Because we have a lot of intimidation about sharing information, knowledge transfer. I just don't know what's going to land with you because I don't know you that well, right? But over a meal, if something gives you an aha moment, I win. Right? Because I told you something aha moment. But I can guarantee you one thing that I love about this is that either be it Pentagon or Cisco or some San Jose corporation, it's always about me learning from them. Because I learn every time something new, some new acronym or some new initiative or some new curiosity that they have that I'm like, it's not that big of a deal to me, but I learn it every time. So I would say, this goes both ways. It's about subject matter expertise, talking to other subject matter expertise.
Okay, I love that. All right, so practical question. Where is this happening? How many people are we talking about? And what does the afternoon actually look like?
So the easiest way I can answer it is that this is not a boardroom. This is a meal session where we're going to do a little bit of whiteboarding, maybe whiteboard on our phone, whiteboard on an actual whiteboard. So this is not a closed door session. So that means anybody can come. But if you come, you have to come with intention, right? Intention of, I'm not here to just learn passively, but if I need some validation, I'm still invited. Right? If I need a validation to say, like, I've learned all these things, but I just need a subject matter expert to validate and give me the clarity and put the gaps together, draw that bridge that I need. And then if you have a specific urgency, you're still invited. Urgency to say, in the next 24 hours, I need something done. But guess what? the door is not closed to everybody.
Mhm.
Door is just open to selective individuals who says this is an urgent matter for me, right?
Yeah.
For the parents, it's urgent for, say, the whole life.
Yeah.
Right? You have to live with AI from now on, just like we've been living with IT and from digital things for the last 20, 30 years. So we really have to have the intention of being there
Yeah.
and actually taking those information and doing something with it. Because passive learning from YouTube, you don't need a meal for that. You can just watch it on YouTube.
Right. And they're getting that over lunch with other parents who get it.
Fulfill that community, create that bridge between two parents that can say, now we can work together on this. Right?
Okay. That brings me to the next question. Because myself as a community organizer in the room, people always ask me, is it going to be worth my time? Parents are busy. How do you answer that?
Well, unless they've been to like 20 of these lunch party over the last 20 months, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the audience that we're looking for. I don't think those audiences even exist, right? These lunch sessions are really challenging for subject matter experts to do, unless they can really say, I am so passionate about advocating for this topic
Yeah.
that I don't know what will come out of it and who will show up. But because people do, we've been doing dinner events for a long time, as you know.
Yeah.
We've done dinner in a corporate environment,
Yeah.
local environment. We've done a dinner in a community environment. We've done dinner so many times, but those lunch sessions are something that we do continuously, no matter where we go.
Yeah.
We don't have to organize it. So I just don't know, but the advocacy is so strong in me and you that you advocate for the right things that I would like to advocate for, and you
Yeah.
advocate for things that I like to advocate for. Because
Yeah.
I do data literacy,
Yeah.
you do parents literacy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a combination right there. So
Yeah.
how do we give the parents that data literacy? I think advocacy is so strong that they're not just going to learn something; they're going to feel the passion of what they know and what they want to do, and how we can draw that bridge for them to start doing that rather than just knowing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can speak to that because as a community organizer, I've watched people come into events like this feeling stuck
Yeah.
and leave with a plan, a real plan.
Actionable plan.
Yes.
Few action items that is actually doable.
Yes. Okay. Last question. And this one's the big one. Okay. Last question. And this one's big. How do people sign up? What do they do right now after watching this video?
Sign up,
Yeah.
commit to it, and show up. And the big thing is that if you have to take a pause and learn more, you can go to our community, YouTube channel community, see some of the conversations that we're having. How are we advocating? Because the A in Smart community, the YouTube channel, is advocacy.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to advocate for somebody. You have to advocate for yourself, right?
Yes.
Your job, your career, your needs, your financial well-being, but also to be a parent. How do you take care of your children? How do you secure their future? How do you keep them out of harm's way or have them be productive in the age of AI? And how do you keep your parents safe? So it's all about just educating yourself. So if you think you don't know, now you can know a few things, and then you can start doing by signing up for on the link on this video.
Yeah.
And then when you show up, you're already growing because you have taken a few steps more than anybody else that are sitting there kind of passively learning about these things.
Yes. Yes. And I will say this, if you're on the fence, come anyway.
Right.
Come curious, come hungry, literally and figuratively.
Mentally and physical.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
All right. So Masako,
Yeah.
do you have any departing thoughts or something that you want to bring to the video?
This is going to be incredible and I cannot wait.
I think the reason Masako still hangs out with me after all these years is because there's a value to be added every time. It's just knowledge transfer that happens instantaneously because she will talk about a single pain point and I'm able to contribute to that. And that's how I hang out with Masako all the time after all these years, because I've always had some pain points that Masako just pinned right at it and said, that's your problem. That's the one you got to tackle. That's the action you have to take. And I've always done that. So thank you, Masako, for being the leader in the community, being the leader in my decision making capabilities. And I'm looking forward to these exciting conversations that we're going to have.
Absolutely. Thank you, Asif. And we look forward to seeing y'all at lunch.
Yeah.